You're currently watching For the Love of Wisdom, my YouTube channel on philosophy. And in this video, I want to ask you the question, what are your thoughts on God? And you can enter them down below in the comments section. And to give you something to think about before you answer, I'm going to go over some different ideas concerning God. And I'm going to do this through using Venn diagrams. One circle of the Venn diagram will represent the universe, and the other circle will represent God. And we'll see whether they overlap or are distinct or what. So we start out with traditional theism is understood by Christianity, where God is above and beyond the universe. He's transcendent, and the universe is separate from God. It's a separate creation from God. But God also enters into the universe and becomes a part of it in the person of Jesus Christ. So here you have full separation between God and the universe, but also full interaction between them. And I'll move on here to subtheism. This is associated with polytheism or paganism. The idea here is that the primary constituent of the universe is the natural world. That is, the primary constituent of reality is the universe. And we may have a god or gods within the universe, but they're part of the universe. They're subject to natural law if the universe itself is a thing that's subject to natural law. You might have a being like Q from Star Trek. You might have very powerful beings in the universe with godlike powers who are worshipped as gods and demand worship. So you have this idea of gods within the universe as natural beings. And this can be contrasted with pantheism. Pantheism literally means all in God. This is the idea that the primary constituent of the universe is God. And the universe is a creation of God that exists within God. And this idea is sometimes found in Hinduism, and that's why I have a picture of the Hindu god Brahma in the circle for God here. And panentheism is similar to pantheism. Pantheism is the idea that God and the universe are identical with each other. And this may range from God being a personality, like he is in Christianity, who is also the universe, but more commonly it might be where the universe has divine qualities to it. That there's something divine and natural about the universe, or that God became the universe. Alan Watts tells a story in the book that God became the universe. This story is known as Leela. His idea is that God is playing hide and seek with himself. So God became the universe, and we are supposed to find our true selves. Though it's hard to distinguish that sometimes from panentheism. Maybe there's still an aspect of God that's beyond the universe in a story like this. Okay, now we come to idealism. Idealism was a theory proposed by British empiricist philosopher George Berkeley. And according to Berkeley, everything that we experience is not real. It's not part of we're not living in a real world where real things happen. Our sensations are all put in our minds by God. And so we're living in virtual reality created by God, continually maintained by God. And this idea can also be found in some religions or mythologies where you have the idea that the universe is created by God dreaming. And so here in the God circle I have a picture of the Hindu god Vishnu dreaming the universe into existence. And this idea is also found, I think, in the pseudo-mythology of Lord Dunsany, or I should say fictional mythology of Lord Dunsany. And we move on to Deism here. Deism is the idea that God created the universe, but he doesn't interact with it. And this idea was popular among some of the founding fathers of the United States, such as Thomas Paine and Ethan Allen, who each wrote books critical of Christianity, in which they each espoused Deism. So they did believe that God existed, but they did not believe in divine revelation. They did not believe that the Bible came from God. They were both very critical of the Bible in their books. So here you have a clear distinction between the universe and God. The universe can be understood through science. It functions according to natural law. And to know God, we can know God only through examining his creation. We can't know God through prayer or through revelation. And this can be very hard to distinguish from naturalism. Naturalism is the belief that all that exists is the natural universe. There is no God at all. And this is a view, of course, that is espoused by many atheists. It's also common among scientists who may be atheists. So we just have the natural world. There's nothing divine about it. There are no divine beings in it. And that's all there is to it. So let me know down below what your ideas on God are. Does one of the possibilities that I went over in this video fit what you believe about God, or do you have other ideas about God? You can share them down below. You have been watching For the Love of Wisdom, my YouTube channel on free thought, philosophy, and critical thinking. If you like this video, please favorite it or share it or like it down below. And if you would like to see more videos like this, you can subscribe to For the Love of Wisdom. That's all one word. And now let me show you some of my previous videos. This video is part of a series of videos in which I ask you, the audience, questions, and you can answer them down in the comments below. And the previous video in this series asked the question, what do you think about pain? Hello, you're watching For the Love of Wisdom. And as you may be able to tell by the fiery worms crawling around my face and the fiery arrow that's through my head, I'm currently in excruciating pain. And that brings me to the subject of this video. We're going to be looking at the question, what do you think about pain? And this is a video in which I'm just going to present some different ideas about. And we also have a video called, Must We Presuppose God to Account for Existence? And although this is not part of the question series, it's related to the topic of the video that you just watched. Hello and welcome to For the Love of Wisdom, a YouTube channel on philosophy, free thought, and critical thinking. In this video we're going to be looking at the question, must we presuppose God to account for existence? This video is a response to one put out by My True Power 2 called, Is There Real Proof That God Exists? In his video he has laid out 8 different arguments for the existence of God. I have addressed his first argument in a different video, and I'll be addressing his second argument in this video. And I